Hello everyone, this is Vicki Verley. Thank you so much for joining me for your monthly tarot scopes. These monthly mini readings offer a glimpse into what it's really like to have a personal consultation with me. A private reading is much more personal and in-depth. I psychically tune into your energy and get visions and impressions that are specific only to you. If you would like to order a personal reading from me, or check out some of the other products and services that I offer, you can do so by checking out the link below. And now, without further ado, on to the reading. Pisces. Hi Pisces. Welcome to your July of 2015 tarot scope and animal totem card for July of 2015. It's crazy. I can't believe it's already July. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling up these tarot cards for Pisces. Oh, there's one going the wrong way. Let's throw that out there. For July. Somebody was asking about how if I use this thing, it's like, oh, you know, are the cards not... It's the same as if I was holding them in my hands. There's no difference. Other than it's not constantly pounding on my hand. That's the only difference. And the cards will change direction after the spreads when you pick them up. And if I do a private reading, half the time I lay out the whole deck. Then you just bunch them all together. So they will change direction. But if you're holding the deck in your hand, they're all still... A couple people were saying that this might be an impedance. There's no difference. As I said, let's invent one. Let's invent a tarot card shuffler. Nice if you could just go, you know, and stop, and it would just stop. I know they make card shufflers. The problem is that they're for standard poker decks, so that's always the issue. Tarot cards come in a lot of different things, so you're going to need to have different ones. Okay, Pisces. Pisces, July 2015. Come on now, what's going to happen for Pisces? Oh, I don't want to talk about it till I get these all out. I don't know what's happening. Well, you know, Scorpio went back, Saturn's back in Scorpio, which is going to trine you guys. There's actually quite a few good, nice things astrologically happening in July. Well, there's some nice stuff. I'm not, off the top of my head, I'm not really thinking of any big challenging stuff going on. Okay. Alright, well, let's take a look. This did get a little brighter here. These first cards up here were not the hottest, I'll tell you. I don't know if that was this way or this way. I'm going to say it was kind of this way. And then this is all about financial struggle and loss and problems with money. I mean, it can be other issues, not always just money, 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 but it's pentacles, it is money. But it's like the second house in astrology, too. It's kind of like it could be, you know, it's your self-worth, your self-esteem, especially this Five of Pentacles. That totally is what that card is about. You know, it's about the poverty consciousness more than it even is about money or anything. I'm not worthy. But, you know, when it's lining up with this kind of stuff, often it is that I'm a little short on cash, you know. Especially this Two of Pentacles, because that is, you know, I'm juggling. It's like, oof. Okay, I can pay this month and juggle back and forth, or if I pay part of this and part of that, you know, we're juggling back and forth. The Seven of Swords did come out the first card, and that is something's taken away from you. So maybe, you know, it looks like there's some loss out thing, like either somebody was supposed to pay you some money and you didn't get it, or it was less than you hoped, or maybe you thought you had a job locked in and maybe you didn't get it. It seems like there's a temporary hiccup here and shortage with the money. You know, this card lines up with these as well, and this seems to be like the Five of Cups in itself is a card of I'm looking at the missed opportunities and not seeing the good opportunities. When it's like this, sometimes it is the opposite, but also it can be maybe something you missed is coming back around. But the focus is more on the full cups, and it could be advice, and that's always good advice, you know. Focus on the glass being half full, or count your blessings, you know. Don't focus on whatever didn't happen and complaining about it, because that's just going to get you more of it. You know, that's really a true thing. So, you know, something about, well, it's a turnaround. And we've got a 5 and a 5. Was there another 5 in here? I thought I saw another 5. Well, there's a couple 5s up here this beginning too. So 5, I don't know. It's not the 5th month, because that would have been Taurus. I mean, maybe something popped up in Taurus time. I'm not sure. But let's just move on, because the rest of the cards are looking much brighter down here. Two of Rods, your path is going to open up to you in fire. And in July, we are moving into fire. And I didn't look that up. I looked up every other thing. I have all these side notes about astrology. But I forgot to see when we are going to move into fire. It's usually somewhere right around the 20th. I don't know. I can't get a grip on these papers here. This year it is going to be probably the 20th. It's exactly, huh? Actually, the 22nd. Let me make us another note of that. We go Leo 22nd. But there's a lot of stuff happening in Leo. That's one of the reasons that I made some notes, because there's some break in the astrology, all the heaviness of the astrology. And some of you might want to watch that other thing if you don't already, about the charts. I know it's kind of astrology, but here's what I noticed about those wheel readings that I do, is if you have to stick with it, because I just kind of like loosen up as I go along. I was kind of listening back and critiquing myself, and I realized that I do them cold just like this. I don't ever I don't ever do any rehearsing, and I use the whole deck. Not saying anything in particular, but there's 78 cards in a tarot deck. Tarot decks are pretty thick, so I use the whole deck, so you're getting everything. But I don't do any preparing. It's just, here we are. Let's see what it says. But back to that, in astrology, I get a lot of stuff there, and it is a psychic astrology reading. But sometimes I notice it's kind of more towards the end of it, so you might want to check that out. But anyways, there's a bunch of stuff going on in Leo. As soon as July 1st, we're having a full moon, and that's when Venus conjuncts Jupiter. Now, many astrologers will say that Sun conjunct Jupiter is the best day of the year, or the luckiest day of the year. That's what it is. And that may be true, but I'll tell you what, Venus conjunct Jupiter is right in there too. It's pretty close. If maybe not the luckiest, but it's right up there. So, and the fact that we've got this fire showing, and we've got the ace, which could be the first. When I was looking at this, I almost wanted to say like the first or the second, because we got the 1 and the 2. But there's this fire, and this could be a person too. It could be a fire sign person, which would be Leo, Aries, Sag. But I'm pretty strong that it's kind of referring. Well, which we got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 2 3s, a 2, and a 1. So I want to say for you guys that I think these first few days, first, second, third, this could be something for you guys, something popping, something changing for the better. Could have to do with a person, and again, they could be fire, like we were saying. The Empress is here, though, and look, it feels like he's bringing in the Empress. He's heading into this direction. He's heading into your life, or into your circle. And what does he bring with him? He's bringing in the Empress, and she's connected to the Sun. Again, whenever Empress and Sun show together like this, very often this can be a baby. It may be for some of you. And with Ace of Rods, too, because Ace of Rods are the seeds that are planted, and it can be, and it's sometimes a phallic symbol. It can just be, you plant the seeds of the sperm into the vagina, and then you got a pregnant woman and a baby. So these three are all together, but the Empress, that could apply to some people, but it doesn't have to be. The Empress is abundance. The Empress is fruitfulness, the harvest, plentifulness. She is, inner glory, I almost want to say. We do have the Sun card here. And this ring behind her was really standing out to me, almost like the Sun. I was almost going to say this almost reminds me of the Sun. And like that. So the second date that we want to note again is that 22nd. Because that's when the Sun moves into Leo. That's going to be another thing that's going to happen. But it definitely seems like a turn of tides. The 2 of Rods, too. It's like seeing your path in life, but it's also a card of partnership. Especially when it shows up next to an individual. It's got 2 individuals, actually. So this is a partnership that's going to work. If we stay to the gender, which I try not to do in the readings, it could be this guy brings in the Empress with him, and then this, in turn, she's the Empress. It could be like that. Because really, neither one of these seem to be representing you. Knight of Rods, fire again, Leo, Aries, Sag, air. Swords people are air, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra. So that may be their signs, or that kind of might be their thing. Like he could be like a person of action, fire's action, and she could be somebody who's a thinker, or intellect, or has good ideas. She's more the ideas person, and he's more the action-oriented person. But it just seems like we're all merging in on here. Everything's pointing in. The aces are pointing in here. The swords are pointing in. The faces are pointing. You know, it's all right here. It's like this is what's happening. She seems to be. I'm saying she, but again, in these general things, it could be anybody. But I'm going to just refer to her for she for now. But she seems to be coming out of something else. Now, I guess maybe it could be she's getting divorced or coming out of a bad marriage. But the Pentacle guy, the King of Pentacles in reverse, this feels like, you know, this was her last job or her last boss or somebody. And I'm feeling, I mean, it could be somebody related to you, but it really feels like it's connected to her. Like this is what she's leaving behind to join in this thing. And I feel like for this one, though, I don't feel like he's leaving it behind. I think he's bringing it along. But anyways, you know, and what I get about this is somebody who, like, I feel like she is, like, ideas, ideas, ideas. You know, she's just click, click, click. The mind is clicking, clicking, clicking. And he didn't want to hear that. I'm feeling like he was just, like, sitting on her. It could be somebody who was in a long-suffering marriage, too, and now they're free, and they're just dying to get back into everything. But that's what I kind of feel about this person, is they're dying to jump right in. They're excited to get right into it because they have been oppressed, whether it was in a marriage or a job or whatever. I don't really feel it's you, though. But these are all people that are coming in to join in the, whatever this is, this big turnaround that you're experiencing. Two of Rods also is like, what is he looking at? He's looking at this and he's connected to this. So look at the people who are positive, who do want to have input and have positive things, you know, input on the project or whatever's going on here. And it seems like this would be you, I feel, and this is what you're leaving behind. You know, you're leaving behind some people that were not cooperative. And there could be a real similarity between, you know, you guys might be coming from the same place. You know, this is like gossip and stuff like that a lot of times. It's not necessarily, it's a different energy than the King of Pentacles, but, you know, it's still not a positive vibe. It's something that's good riddance, left behind. Okay, so we got the Ace of Rods, and seeds planted are going to bloom and grow. Could be in fire, and we discussed all the fire stuff that is coming up. And the Sun card is here, too. I want to talk about that real quick. You know, that Sun is, you know, it can be well when the Sun goes into fire, as I've said a few times here. But it can also be, you know, the Sun is a fantastic card. It could be the baby by the Empress and all that. But Sun is, you are happy. This is that I'm overjoyed, I'm glowing, I'm expressing myself to the full extent of my creative abilities, and I'm just shining and I'm glowing, and I'm, you know, I'm just in the zone and exuding like a lot of your aura too. You know, like the sun is shining on you. You can look at it that way. Excuse me, I had to get some water. So I think that, I feel that a lot of this financial stuff, if you've experienced some of that's going to change. Many of you may be changing jobs or careers or working on a project with other people different from what you've been doing. That's going to, and I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to bring all this money, because it doesn't really show that, but and this could be a case of, you know, how much are you willing to suffer for that dollar, you know? Do you want to have joy in your life and have your... I'm just feeling, this is a card of abundance, though, even though we don't have actual dollar signs around it. The Empress is abundance. She has plenty. She has plenty to eat, and she's got clothing, and she's set. She's got crops. She's harvesting her crops for future, so she's got, like, savings. She's got overly abundant. So it's like there will be abundance, but it's more about an emotional state. That's what I'm trying to get to. It's more about being so joyous and happy and everything. A lot of people I think you're going to hear about pregnancies. That's very, very strong in here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull out our animal totem card for this month for you guys, Pisces. If you didn't know, these are my own cards of my own design. They're called the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards. And you can find them by following that goods and service link. You can find all my stuff. All my stuff. The book, Tarot in the Modern World, that I have displayed here. My decks. And all my stuff. How to get a reading. And by the way, I'm running about 3 weeks behind. I'm doing my very best. I've been filling in a lot, but I can't, you know, I need to replenish myself. I can't work 7 days a week. So it's running about 3 weeks. That's where we're at with the readings as of the recording this. So everybody, I heard another reader say this too. Everybody wants their reading right away, but I mean, everybody wants it, you know, so I'm doing what I can do. I am squeezing in more, working more than I usually do, but I have to replenish myself. I can't wear myself down. Okay, let's see here. We're looking at for that animal totem for Pisces for July 2015. Hawk. This card is special because this was the very first card that set off the whole thing for me. But let me read what this says here. Perched high above, you peer down on the world below. Zero in on your target, then act swiftly with a mighty force. You have the ability to soar to great heights. Well, that's all very true. That's all very much coincides with, I'm going to put the card up on the screen instead of trying to line it up with the camera. But that very much corresponds with everything that is shown here. You know, this is about rising above some of this stuff here. Air is very much, I would put fire with Hawk too. I could see air and fire being Hawk too. But it's of the wind, you know, taking to the wind. It's mental. It was my intention when I created these cards that there be messages for everybody in your subconscious if you take the time to look at it. So I do have it up on the screen. I want you to take a look at it, see if anything stands out to you. You know, if certain things stand out to you, it could be a message. And it doesn't even have to be like, oh, the talons stand out or the eyes stand out, which that could be. Talons could be, you know, talons, claws, you know, like we do with the cat noises. But I mean, one time I saw a hawk in my tree ripping the breast out of a mourning dove. I mean, they're pretty vicious. They can be. But it's also like the soaring high. It's kind of the Scorpio nature, really, you know. They can be vicious, but they can also soar to great heights. But it could be anything. It could be these stripes or a shape that resembles something else, or even like negative space, you know. So there's all sorts of things that you can look at and gaze upon and hopefully get some kind of message. And as I always say, I love to hear, if you see a hawk, please leave in the comments. That's my favorite thing when you guys get the animal confirmations. Okay, I got a couple things to tell you about before we check out. Have a great July, and I'll talk to you soon. Hi everyone, before we go, I wanted to let everyone know that I've signed up for Patreon. So if you want to, I mean, you can still donate through PayPal and through Google Wallet. But if you enjoy all the free content that I post every month, you can sign up to Patreon, and it's just my name, patreon.com/VickyVerley. If you go on my main channel under the About section, you'll find all that. You know, there's a link to Patreon and everything else, how to order a mandala, how to get a reading, prints, everything that's available. And of course on Amazon, if you're learning how to read tarot from these videos, you know, you can order my book, Tarot in the Modern World. It's less than $10, very reasonable. And everything is on this Order the Mandala page. If you can't find anything else, go to the Order the Mandala page. And there we have everything. My deck, the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards is there. You know, the charts, the reports, and make a donation through PayPal. So I really do appreciate all your support. You know, it's a labor of love, but it does take up quite a bit of time to get all these readings out to you guys every month. And a little bit definitely helps. Also on my main page, you can check out some of my other channels on the home section. I've got a link to some of my other stuff here. You know, this Vivi Creator Shorts, it's my keyboard station. And if you have small children, I have the Vicky Verley channel, which is learning songs for kids. Okay, I want to thank you all for donating and liking and sharing and commenting and subscribing to my channels. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate, and I'll speak to you soon.